Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that anyone that builds a mosque for the sake of Allah, Allah will build for him the likes of it in paradise. If you are looking to help build a mosque, look no further than my humble little mosque here in Koh Phangan, Thailand. Currently, we are trying to buy a small amount of land for a few reasons. One being that as it stands, we only have a small amount of parking and it's only enough for a few motorbikes and not even enough for a car. As well, the entrance to get into the mosque is like very, very small. And so we could, by purchasing this land, we could expand those things. And also, inshallah, by purchasing this land, it would allow us to expand the mosque itself and also have room for a small school where children and also men and women can learn about Islam. So the patrons of the mosque already have gathered around half of the money, but we need more, about $45,000 USD. So if you feel called to do so, please, for the sake of Allah, donate any amount, large or small, by using the link in the description down below, and may Allah bless you generously for doing so. Masalama. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What is going on, guys? It is Daniel here, and we are back again today, and we are reacting to part 1 of the Army of Satan series by Rational Believer. This is upon popular request. This first one is called, Why Did God or Allah Create the Devil? This is a good question. This is a question that a lot of people will ask if they become interested in Islam or interested in the idea of God in the first place. So I'm very interested to see what is Rational Believer's answer for this question, and they're supposedly going to do it in about 8 minutes. So let's get into it.
Who is this devil? Is he real?
Sheikh Yusuf
Or is it a figment of your
Estes.
imagination? Or is it just something in philosophy? According to the Quran, he's very real. Substance is real, you just don't see it. He lived before us, he's still alive today. That's an amazing subject right there, isn't it? That's amazing.
The word shaitan is derived from the root shaitan, means impure and base. Shaitan refers to an entity that is rebellious, irrespective of whether it is of humans or jinn. It is also said that it means a nefarious soul, who is distanced from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and from the truth. So shaitan is in both forms, the jinn and the humans, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says.
Now, what is this about the jinn? Why do you have to...
So I'm a little bit confused about the syntax of this sentence. So let's read this again. It says, and thus we have made for every prophet an enemy, devils from mankind and jinn. So the devil is the enemy of the prophet, and the devil is from mankind and jinn. So the devil can either be mankind and jinn, and these devils are made by Allah, and they are the enemy of every prophet.
Now, what is this about the jinn? Why do you have to believe in that? Well, they're part of something called al-ghaib. Al-ghaib means the things you don't see, the unseen. You agree, and I agree, we don't see Allah. Okay, so he's in the ghaib, the unseen. We agree, there are angels, and you don't see them. They're in the ghaib, unseen, made out of light. And now the jinn, and we don't see them. They're also in the ghaib. They're made from a fire which has no...
Can anyone confirm that Sheikh Yusuf Estes' pronunciation of ghaib is good or not? I don't know.
Smoke to it. And if fire has absolutely nothing like smoke to it, or that it could be that you don't see that either. There's heat that you don't actually see, isn't that true?
The both kind of shayateen are trying to lead people to evil deeds. The jinn kind of them are whispering to your hearts so that you can't see them or hear their whispering. And the human kind of them are whispering to your hearts in a way that you can see and hear but not realize it as whispering. And he can be anyone, even a friend of you who suggests you for drinking alcohol or any other kind of evil deeds.
As far as the question is concerned with Iblis, it should be noted that Shaitan is a common noun, whereas Iblis is a proper noun. Iblis is also from among the jinn, who was the first creature that...
Wait, what? Shaitan is a
As far as the question is concerned with Iblis, it should be noted that Shaitan is a common
noun. I honestly don't even know what that means. I do know proper noun is like a name of something. So common, we don't know what a common noun is.
Whereas Iblis is a proper noun. Iblis is also from among the jinn, who was the first creature that disobeyed Almighty Allah's command.
We don't see the jinn, but we said that they have choices. And they were making choices even before Adam or human beings were ever created. And their choices were sometimes good, sometimes bad. From them comes the one we call Lucifer or Iblis. And who is that? Who is Lucifer? Who is Iblis? You might say he's the devil, the Satan or Shaitan, as he's called in the Arabic language. But actually, he started out as a worshiper of Allah. And he was worshiping and praying to Allah and extolling Allah to the extent that Allah raised him up to be even with the angels. Now remember, this guy Iblis is not an angel, but he was worshiping alongside of them because of his ibadah or worship, being so lovely, and Allah raised him up, you see. But then what happened? And this is an important story. So we'll digress from a moment from our beauties of Islam to go into this, to get a concept here, to understand a big mistake that some people make when they say that he's from the angels. Angels don't make mistakes. They do as they're commanded. So when Allah created the best of his creation, what did he create?
As far as I'm aware, angels don't even have a will to do or not do as they're commanded. They ultimately have the will of God.
Created Adam, a human being. He created Adam from what? He created him from mud or clay. I want to show you what happened after Allah created Adam. Allah ordered all the angels, bow down. And all the angels did because they have to do as they're commanded. And they bowed down. All of them bowed, except Iblis. He didn't bow down. Now if you read this in context, you understand that he was not an angel. But if you just read the words, all the angels bowed down except Iblis, you'll say, well, see, that means he was an angel. But otherwise, in the Quran, we find in other places that Allah said he wasn't an angel, but he was from the jinn, and he's created from a smokeless fire. And that's exactly what he said. You created Adam from mud, but I'm created from something better, from a smokeless fire. So I refuse to bow down. Why? Because I'm better than him. I am better than Adam, and I refuse to bow down to him. By so doing, he disobeyed Allah. And whoever disobeys Allah, he's in trouble. But especially if he does it out of his arrogance and his pride. I refuse to obey because, I know better. And in this way, he put himself in the worst possible condition with Allah. Allah condemned him to hell forever. And he said, I don't even care. Let me.
And this is such an important story to understand the basics of Islam, because really, we as Muslims, we seek to do the opposite of what Iblis did here. We seek to always listen to Allah, always please Allah. And yeah, this is really the fundamental aspect of Islam, is that we get rid of our pride and our arrogance and this idea that we think that we know better than God. We get rid of this idea, and we try our best to submit to God, even if it goes against our own desires, our own anything. It's not about us. It's not about what we want. It's about what God wants. And if God tells us what he wants, we need to follow that.
Take him, meaning Adam, and his children along with me to hell. What? For what?
I think I missed something there. Let's go back.
And he said, I don't even care. This know better. And in this way, he put himself in the worst possible condition with Allah. Allah condemned him to hell forever. And he said, I don't even care. least let me take him, meaning Adam, and his children along with me to hell. What? For what? Because of this thing called pride or arrogance, kibr in the Arabic language. And what is kibr? And kibr is something comes from kabara. Kabara is the root of the word akbar. And only Allah is akbar. Allah is greater and greater and greater than anything. But a human being has no right in front of Allah or anything that's created. The jinn, the angels, nothing have the right to come in front of Allah like this and say, hey, who am I? I'm this, I'm that. No, Allah gave you a commandment. You do it.
Now the important point is that everyone thinks that it is because of shaitan that we commit sins. That's why they're asking some questions like, why Allah created shaitan? Or why Allah didn't finish shaitan so that we wouldn't commit sins? Here's a misunderstanding. Shaitan cannot do anything more than whispering. To make it more clear, let's ask a question. Before Iblis became shaitan, there was no other shaitan, right? So who told Iblis to disobey Almighty Allah's command? Here's the point. There was no shaitan before him. He did it because of his nafs.
Suppose that even if there was no shaitan, still we'd have nafs. So we'd commit sins.
Nafs. What is this word? I think it's like passions. Do I have my phone here? Yes, I do. I think nafs means like passions. We would use the word passions in Orthodox Christianity. Nafs, Arabic. Nafs. Okay, maybe I should search nafs, Islam. Okay. Chronic Arabic word for the self. Psyche, ego, self, soul. Okay. So I think specific part of the self such as desires, appetite, anger, passion, lust. Yeah, passions, ego, psyche. Okay. Okay, so he did it because of his ego or his passions. Okay, good to know.
Because this world is a test for the mankind and the jinn kind. Now same as the case with Iblis, he's also in this test because he is a jinn and he has nafs. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't create him as shaitan, rather he himself chose to be shaitan. Not only Iblis but all the other shayateen are choosing to be shaitan by disobeying Almighty Allah's order.
Now, what happened next? Well, that's when Allah told Adam that he could have anything that he wanted in all of the paradise. Go ahead, enjoy. But there's one tree, don't eat from it. Of course, you know what's going to happen. And the devil came to him and to Eve and got them to eat from that tree. And they were cast down because of that. But Allah knew from the beginning they would eat from it. That's why Allah put it there. Because this life, and this is the whole reason for me telling you this story, so you can get this one beauty of Islam, to understand this one thing. This life is nothing more than a test.
Oh, that was intense how he looked right to the camera as he said that.
Beauty of Islam, to understand this one thing. This life is nothing more than a test.
The obvious point is that Iblis was the first of all shayateen. Therefore, he is the leader of them. And all shayateen are tools for this test, even though they are also giving test.
Okay, that's it, huh? All right. Well, what are my thoughts there? They said, why did God create Shaitan? And as far as I'm aware, they didn't really answer that question. They really didn't. They said that Iblis, out of his own free will, decided to become Shaitan. But then that ultimately begs the question, why did God give Iblis the free will? So they didn't really answer the question, or at least as far as I'm concerned. So if anybody could answer that question, that's my question now. Why did Allah give us free will? Give jinn free will and also humans free will? Okay, that's my question. Please answer down in the comments, guys. I'm actually curious to hear what you guys have to say about that. God bless you all for watching. May Allah bless you all generously. And inshallah, we will see you in the next one. Ma salama. Assalamu alaikum. Guys, I think I realized, I'm editing this video now, and I think I realized the answer to my own question about this. Why did Allah give anyone free will? And I think I remembered while editing that angels don't have free will, and so they don't have the ability to even deny Allah, whereas we do. And so if we will not deny Allah and instead worship Allah, then we can actually reach a higher level, for lack of a better term, than the angels. And so this could be part of the reasoning for why did Allah give anyone free will. But I'd be very interested to see if anybody else has a more detailed answer, in-depth answer, or better answer. So may Allah bless you for sharing that with me if you do that, inshallah. And again, inshallah, we will see you guys in the next one. And may Allah bless all of you for watching. Ma salama.